Hey everybody, it's Bobby here, and I've got a wonderful recipe for you today that I think you're really going to like. We talk about how fortunate we are to live in Savannah and on the coast of Georgia all the time. And one of the reasons that we're so fortunate is because we get wonderful, fresh, local shrimp right here from our waters right off the coast of Georgia. And I'm going to show you a recipe today called black pepper shrimp. It's really tasty and delicious unless you have a shrimp allergy like my wife, so she cannot have this, but that just means more for me. So black pepper shrimp is just about the simplest recipe that you'll ever find. There are a couple of different ways that you could do it, and I'll tell you about both of them. First of all, I'm going to start off with a stick of butter, melt it in my saucepan here. Very few ingredients here, okay? Shrimp, butter, garlic, and pepper. And that is the whole thing. So while my butter is melting, which won't take very long, I'm going to chop some garlic. Recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of chopped garlic. So we'll see what we get out of these 4 cloves. Black pepper shrimp. My mom used to do how this started was a special at the Lady and Sons down on Congress Street when we were at 311 West Congress Street. And my mom would do it in the skillet. Today we're going to bake them. I like both ways. The skillet is wonderful because it gives you great control over the dish. And with shrimp, you can't come back from overcooking. Once you've overcooked them, you've done it. So you got to be careful with the oven. And every oven is different. Yours is going to be different from the one that I'm using today. Mine at my house is different from the one I'm using today. They're all different. So you have to keep an eye on them because these shrimp really sacrificed for this dish, right? So we don't want to throw them away. We don't want to waste them. So once you put them in the oven, just keep a nice tight eye on them. But my mom used to do it in the skillet, like I said, for greater control because you're really eyeballing shrimp when you're cooking them. And it's like, there it is. That's the color I'm looking for. And they're done and you pull them off. And when you pull them off, you got to remember with everything that you're cooking, it still continues to cook a little bit after you remove it from the heat, whether it's a steak or a chicken or shrimp. So when you see exactly that right color, pull them out of the oven or get them out of the skillet, whichever you prefer. And maybe one day we'll come back and redo this recipe and do it in the skillet because it is so good. Now this is going to be really pretty because I'm using a cast iron baking dish. My mom has got some just beautiful pieces in her house, and this is one of my favorite. So what we're going to do is take our shrimp, which have been washed and cleaned, and they're ready to go. And we're going to put them in our shallow baking dish. Spread them out a little bit. Oh boy, this is going to be so pretty. But there's nothing hotter than cast iron out of the oven. So be real careful when you take it out, not to burn yourself. Okay, so our butter is just about completely melted. Let me find myself a whisk. I'm sure there's one here. Yeah. Nice assortment of whisks. And I'm going to go ahead and add our garlic. Garlic and butter together is one of those aromas that is just so wonderful. That, along with like the Holy Trinity, onions and peppers and that real New Orleans smell, that also is a wonderful aroma in the kitchen. But garlic and butter together, oh my goodness. So let's take a quick break. I'm just going to do this for about 3 minutes to cook the garlic a little bit, so we'll come right back. Our garlic butter is perfect, about 3 to 4 minutes on the stovetop, and it looks and smells so good. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this right over the shrimp and try to get it evenly. Make sure everybody gets some. Ooh, I love good shrimp. There are benefits to living on the coast. All right, so there's our butter and garlic mixture, and I'm going to toss them a little bit. Try not to beat them up. Make sure that everybody gets a little bit of that garlic butter all over them. Yeah. Get it, shrimp. Get it, shrimp. Oh, man. I can tell that this is going to be wonderful. Now, with black pepper shrimp, everyone, got to be heavy-handed with the pepper. Don't be afraid. We're going to pepper them. Then we're going to bake them. And then we're going to toss them and pepper them again. I want to make sure that they're all covered with that black pepper. All right, that looks wonderful. Easy peasy. And our beautiful cast iron skillet full of shrimp is going to go into the oven for about 5 minutes. Now, and your oven might be different, so I'm going to keep a tight eye on this. I'm probably not going to leave it. I'm probably just going to stand there and stare in the window and be looking for the right color, because if you overcook shrimp, they become pencil erasers. That's not what we want. Let's go to the oven. So this has been about 3 or 4 minutes. And thank goodness I did not overcook them, but they're starting to get that nice, pretty pink color. They smell wonderful, that butter and garlic together. Oh my goodness. Make sure that butter and garlic and pepper gets all over all of my shrimp. And a little more pepper. And back into the oven. Be heavy-handed with the pepper, everybody. Make sure that they're all covered. Looks great. Okay, back into the oven for, I don't know, 2 minutes, 4 minutes. I'll keep an eye on them. So we'll be right back. And look at that. Goodness gracious, that is a bountiful harvest of wonderful black pepper shrimp. And that's about 5 and 5 minutes. So we melted our butter, added our garlic to the butter, sauteed that for about 3 or 4 minutes, poured it over our raw shrimp in our shallow baking dish here, popped it in the oven. We went a little less than 5 minutes. We got a super hot oven here. And then we took it out, tossed it, and we added a little bit more black pepper, and then we went back in the oven for about 5 more minutes. And we kept a really close eye on it so that to make sure that our shrimp didn't get overcooked and rubbery. And they look so good. And I don't mind if I do. So let's taste them so I can make sure for you all that this recipe was accurate. Ooh. Nothing like some shrimp. I feel bad for everybody who's got a shrimp allergy. Do you like shrimp? I do. Okay, well, this one kind of tore up on me because I was excited. Get one out of that jacket. Yeah, hot. Imagine that. Beautiful. Check that out. Mm-hmm. Scrumptious and wonderful. One of my favorite things. Black pepper shrimp. Simple recipe. I think you're really going to like it. Enjoy.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.